Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Katrina's Creations. And this week we are doing something very special, even more so special than what I talked about on Saturday. This episode is going to be, these are a few of my favorite things, and I'm going to share with you 10 of my favorite projects. Some of these you've seen over the years on the podcast, others you have never seen before. So I am going to be sharing those. And I thought it would be fun to tag a bunch of other podcasters and have them do the same type of video where they share 10 of their favorite things. So if you check in the description box down below, that is a list and the links to all of the podcasters that are currently participating in this. Now, since I'm the first one starting this tag, if you click on any of these links, they might not have that video up yet, but just keep checking back with them because they're all putting them together and working on it. So I thought it would be a fun way in our knitting and crocheting community to get to check out maybe channels that we hadn't checked out before, and to see maybe there's some other podcasters we would enjoy, and it's always fun looking at each other's projects. If you're new to my channel, we do a segment every week called Show and Tell where you guys get to show off your projects by sending me pictures and I show them to everybody else. And it's a very popular segment and I enjoy watching it. So I thought this would be fun to have the podcasters, all of us get together and kind of do this. So before I get started, several of you asked about this particular sweater that I was wearing on Saturday, so I thought I would wear it again and explain a little bit about it. This is a sweater that does not have a pattern. If you click the link above, you can see the tutorial on how to make a sweater without using a pattern. And that's what I did when I made this. This particular yarn is something you can get at pretty much any yarn store. Or any place that carries yarn like Walmart, a big box store, you could get this at. This is Lion brand, homespun, and I believe the colorway is Harvest. It is a knitted from the bottom up, and it's knit in the round, and you just separate for the sleeves, and the sleeves are drop shouldered. The shoulder seam is actually down to about here, where it comes out like this. There you can see it because of the little faint striping. You can see right where the seam is right here. But I love this sweater. I'm going to have to retire it pretty soon because if you looked close, there's a couple of little holes in it where it's actually worn through. But I've gotten years and years of wear out of this. It is an acrylic, but it's comfortable, and it's just cozy. I enjoy wearing it, and it gets a lot of wear during the winter time. So anyway, that's a little bit about this before I get started. So now let's get started with my 10 favorite things. The first of my favorite things is actually a pullover. This is the Cooper Spur pullover. It's by Janine McCarty Designs. Janine McCarty is the Yarn and Ewe Girl podcast, and she actually is one of the podcasters listed below that is going to participate in this. But this is a sweater that she designed, and this is the bottom of it. And I did it in 2 colors instead of 1. And then I continued to lessen the striping up as far as the width. I switched them right here. And I'll get it close so you can see this kind of cross hatching. And then it has a scooped neckline. And the sleeves are just attached. They're not seamed in. They're actually knit right into one piece. So you pretty much knit 2 pieces and hook it together. And every time I wear this, I get a lot of compliments on it. It's a very comfortable sweater to wear. It is an oversized sweater. In other words, it has a lot of positive ease. And I usually wear like a black turtleneck underneath this. Now, the pattern itself that she designed called for it to be cropped or like to the top of your waist, or the top of your hips. I like to cover my hips. So mine is a little bit bigger than that. So I am going to insert a shot of me wearing it. So again, that is the Cooper Spur. And the yarn I used for this, the maroon color yarn here, is a wool yarn. It is a little on the rustic side. It's not something you'd want to wear close to your skin. This is from a yarn warehouse up in Rhode Island called Peter Patch's Yarn. So it did not have a name attached to it. It just told you what the fiber content was. Now the colored yarn here, and I'll hold it here so you can see it. The colored yarn is a yarn called Got Fiber by Twin Mommy Creations. And that was a yarn that was in a Knit Crate box probably 6 months ago or so. But it had the same maroon colors that this color had, so I put them together. So there you can see them. There, it's blowing the color out a little bit, but it has yellows and maroons. There you can see a little bit better. So I love it. I wear it a lot. And like I said, I get a lot of compliments when I wear it. So thank you, Janine. I was one of the test knitters for this. I don't know if I said that or not, but I was. So a happy recipient. Project number 2 is On the Spice Market shawl by Melanie Berg. This is a paid for pattern, and I love Melanie Berg. I've done a couple of her shawls. This particular one I have made twice, once for me and I made one for my mother for Christmas this past year. And the yarns that are in this are the gray and some of the more solid colors like the darker purple. These are Ella Rae Cozy Soft. So this shawl is extremely soft. It's a longer shawl, so for me, at least, I would not wear it bib style. I'm very short-waisted, so it hangs to my stomach. I tend to wear this like a traditional shawl over my shoulders, and it is extremely comfortable. The other colors that are in this are actually a variegated yarn by Knitting Fever called Chromatic, and the yarn colorway is called Lilac Twilight. And I got that from my local yarn shop, which is Creative View. So you can see some of it in the lighter pinks. That is some of the Lilac Twilight. And some of the darker, this color in here, that is part of that same yarn. So I will stand up and show this to you so you can get an idea of how big this shawl is. It is wider than my wingspan, so I will hold it up the best I can. Like I said, I cannot hold it the full distance. It's still hanging off of my hands about 8 inches on both sides. But I'll move a little closer so you can see the little dots in this gray section are just so cool. And it's a fun stitch. It's a slipped stitch. It is almost a version of the linen stitch to make this. And it's a lot of fun, and this portion goes really quick. So, yeah, I love this one, and I wear it quite often. It is a free pattern, and here it is. Mine has an edging that is a darker blue, and then it has the same kind of grays and browns that are in the main part of the shawl. And the yarn that I used in this is this portion here is from the Adirondack Yarn Company. It is 100% organic cotton, and the color is called Irish Ocean. And then the yarn that's down here, as you can see, it picks up a lot of this kind of smoky blue color that you see here is also down in this portion. And this portion is also 100% organic cotton, and it is Ellen Cooper Yarn Sonnets, and the colorway is called Waterman Silver. And it was funny, it was 2 different yarn companies, but the base of both of these was organic cotton, and the twist, everything looked identical. So I don't know if they got their base from the same company or what, but they look like they were meant to go together. So let me hold this one up so you can see it. And this is, again, a very deep shawl, so it is, again, one I don't wear kerchief style. So let me show you what it looks like so you can see it. There's the shawl, and it is just about exactly my wingspan. So it fits comfortably around my shoulders and hangs down all the way down my back. So, and this, because it's cotton, this will be getting a lot of use this spring and summer. I haven't worn it much this winter, but it will be getting a lot of use this spring and summer. Item number 4 is a sweater that I made, again without a pattern, but using that same tutorial that I showed you earlier up here. This sweater is so extremely soft. I wear it to death in the summertime, and I have the same yarn in several different colors. Let me hold the sweater up for you first. It just has a little cap sleeve, so my shoulder falls about here, so just this portion kind of hangs down like a cap sleeve. And I put some beading on it. And then the bottom here has a little bit of crocheted lace with a picot edge. I'll move this a little closer so you can see the beadwork on the collar. And then there's crochet along the sleeve and again along the edge here. For most people, this would look like a cropped shirt, but again, I'm short-waisted, so for me, it comes to just the top of my hips. This is extremely soft yarn. It is a combination of 2 yarns. It is a lana grossa, and the particular yarn is not sold anymore. It was discontinued. It is a little on the snaggy side, but it's extremely soft. And I mixed that with a yarn that I got from my local yarn shop called Baby Soft. And it's a bamboo yarn. And this is a cotton, the Lana Grossa is a cotton bamboo, or was a cotton bamboo. Like I said, it's this particular yarn by Lana Grossa has been discontinued. I have the same yarn in a teal color and in a kind of an orangey tangerine color. So I am going to make 2 more shirts for the summer out of this because, again, I can wash this, I can throw it in the dryer, it comes out gorgeous, and it's extremely soft and comfortable. It's probably one of my most favorite sweaters that I've made, so I look forward to making some more of them. So again, that is number 4. Number 5 is actually a pattern that I designed called Keeping You in Stitches, and that's over at Katrina Workman Designs on Ravelry. It is a paid-for pattern, and I didn't pick it because it's a pattern I designed. I picked it because I love the colors in this shawl, and as a result, I wear this shawl a lot. It's also not a real deep shawl. It's knit as an asymmetric shawl, but by the time you finish with it, it's almost triangular. So it's very easy to wear, and this is one that I always wear kerchief style wrapped around, just like that. And it works out perfect for me. Like I said, I'm short-waisted, so the shawls that don't have as much depth work better if I want to wear them like this. So let me show you a little bit about it. The yarn that I used for this is all Knit Picks palette yarn, which I absolutely love. It is a cheap, as in it's not an expensive yarn, but the yarn itself is really, really good. I enjoy it. It's kind of workhorse because it's very versatile. It's, like I said, it's inexpensive, and I've got lots of this yarn. I've been very happy with it. I have never been disappointed. But anyway, this shawl, you start here with a garter edge, And then each section, and there are 5 sections, section changes color with a different version of lace. And then you can see this is the bottom edge here. So the bottom is the widest. And I just love the color. I was not a gold wearing person for quite a few years, and then I got back into wearing gold, and now I tend to wear this a lot with different blacks or charcoal gray. I wear this in the wintertime. This gets a lot of wearing, just because it tends to go with a lot of things. So that is item number 5. Item number 6 is actually 2 items, because I've made this shawl twice, and there's one that is my favorite, but I thought I would show you both versions of it. This is the Drachenfels, which is another Melanie Berg pattern. And here is the first one. This is the very first one that I made, and it is in red and browns. And there you can see some of the pattern. The pattern did not show up as well with this one, because when I bought this yarn, this is all from one skein. It has a lot of browns in it, and then I picked up a solid brown to go with it, and then I picked up another brown to go with it. So there's a lot of places where the yarn pooling looks a little odd, just because I wasn't sure how it was going to work when I put it together. Anyway, the red here and the the red and the brown are Manos del Uruguay in the Alegria base, or in the yarn, and you can see some spots where it pooled kind of strange. And then the solid brown, or the tonal brown, it's kind of a tweed right here, right there. That is Cascade Yarns Heritage. So that is the one. I'm going to hold them both up in just a minute, but this is the one in the red and the brown. It was the first version of this that I made. Now for the one that I wear a lot. And again, this is a large shawl. I've worn it around like a kerchief, but I love the feeling of this particular one on my shoulders. So I tend to wear it as a traditional shawl a lot. And this is the same pattern, but because the colors were a little different, I was more sure of myself and how the pattern worked. I was a little more careful on how I picked things out. So here it is. And you can, like I said, you can see a lot more of the pattern here. And then it goes to a whole bunch of striping that goes all the way across. It is an asymmetrical shawl. You start at this end. And this particular shawl, I love it because it is so extremely soft. This dark purple here is Yarn and Soul. I don't know the colorway. I won this from Must Love Yarn from a giveaway that they did, and I absolutely love this. It's 100% alpaca. It's so extremely soft. It has a nice halo to it. The other colors that are in it, the speckled yarn, it's gray with a speckling base that has some of this color in it. That is from Knit Picks. It is their Hawthorn yarn, and this particular colorway is called Andromeda Speckle. And then this color down here, right here, this is also Hawthorn yarns from Knit Picks, and that is called Turkish Delight. And this is just a lovely shawl. It's lightweight because it is a fingering weight shawl. I love fingering weight shawls, but this is a very light one, but it's warm because of the alpaca. And it's just very comfortable. It drapes so nice. This is probably one of my absolute favorites. So let me stand up and show you both of these. Here's the red one from a distance, and it is longer than my wingspan. It's probably about 10 inches past my arms on both sides. You can see compared to my neck how deep of a shawl it is. And here's the purple version of the Drachenfels. Drachenfels means Dragon's Hill, and I think this is supposed to look like the dragon's tail. Just my guess. So that is number 6, and again, that was Drachenfels by Melanie Berg. The next one, this would be number 7, is a pattern by Marlene or Marley Bird. It's called the Barton Cardigan. It is all cables all the way around, all the way down the sleeves. It does not have buttons or buttonholes on it. It's just held together with closures, and I've just stuck a brooch here to hold it shut. Let me turn it around to the back so you can see more clearly the pattern. So here's the top, and here is the body. And it does have a gusset on the sides. You can kind of see it right there. How it kind of goes triangular right in here. That's a gusset. So it does kind of have a swing to it where it flares out slightly. So it's very figure flattering. And here's the sleeves. And this called for 3/4 length, and I did make them long sleeves, not 3/4 length. So I will insert me wearing it. Here it is on. Like I said, it does have a flare to it. Mine is a little longer than what it called for. Not quite sure why, but it is a little bit longer. So if I was to make it again, I would probably make it a little bit shorter than what this is. So, but that is the Barton Cardigan. Number 8 is another crocheted project, and it's another version of the Virus shawl. This one's called Virus Meets Granny Shawl, and it is by Jinty Lyons. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And the yarns I used in this, the solids are Ella Cozy Soft, and the variegated color in here is Ancient Arts yarn, and the colorway is To Boldly Go. So it's like the Virus shawl here, but then you have sections that are here, which are like the granny stripe blanket. And this was a shawl that almost ended up in a major mess because this particular color here is called Raspberry Pudding. I forget what the gray is called. It might be just gray. I think it was just called gray. But this was called Raspberry Pudding. And partway through, I ran out of it. My local yarn shop ran out of that color. And it was going to take her several weeks to get more of it in. And so I was looking online for it. It was going to cost me more to ship it than it was to buy the yarn. And a very kind viewer who is asked to remain anonymous contacted me, and she bought a skein she had found at her local yarn store, and she sent it to me, so I was able to finish. So this has a special meaning to me just because of that. And I do get a lot of compliments every time I wear this one as well. I think it's because some of the bold colors, I just love this kind of maroon. It's the raspberry pudding color. I love that in there. It just has some really beautiful bold colors. Again, this is a huge shawl. This is much bigger than the Virus shawl. And I love this thing because it is so soft, and I love draping it just around my shoulders. And it's just very comfortable to wear. And the Ella Cozy Soft is extremely soft yarn. In fact, my local yarn shop owner said that it is something she has problems keeping on the shelf because it is one of the most popular yarns that she has for quite a few years running now. So let me get up and model this one for you. And this is also longer than my wingspan, and you can see how long it is lengthwise. So I love this thing. And there it is. Again, this is the Virus Meets Granny Shawl by Ginty Lyons. Number 9 on the list is called Round Dance. This is, the colors come up pretty true to form. This is a narrow crescent-shaped shawl. I guess you would call it a shawlette. It is a free pattern. And it is by, I'll probably totally massacre the name, Tanya Gobrusiva. Tanya Gobrusiva. I hope I got that right. It'll be down here, so you can check it out. The yarn, I cannot remember what it is. I did buy this from my local yarn shop. It is so extremely soft. I'm guessing there's probably alpaca in it just by the feel of it. And this one you can wear around your shoulders, but this one I do tend to wear around my neck as a kerchief because it is so soft and because it's not a deep shawl. It's maybe 10 inches deep from top to bottom, which is perfect for me. And I just love the feeling of it around my neck because it's so soft. But the pattern's really pretty, and it has like these little bobble stitches in it. And it only took 1 skein of yarn, so it's a 1 skein wonder. It was really nice. It was fast, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So again, that is Round Dance. Lastly, number 10 is something that I have not shown on the podcast for, I know, over a year. It is the Coziest Memory Blanket. This is a pattern that is free. It's by Kemper Ray, who is Junk Yarn Designs. And what this is mitered squares. In fact, you can see this is made out of the leftovers from that Drachenfels. It's mitered squares, and you make it out of leftover yarn that you have, or if you trade mini skeins with someone. I have lots of ends I have to weave in, as you can see. But each of these particular squares take me roughly a half hour to 40 minutes to make. So it's just something fun if you want to feel like you've accomplished something, because you can do 2 or 3 of these squares in an evening very easily. So I'm looking forward to getting back to this. I've gotten so busy with big projects, I haven't had time to just sit down and do this. And this is just like a stress-free type of knit. So I'm about halfway through as large as I'm going to make it. And when I finish, I saw Donna of A Pickle Knitting had done an I-cord binding around the edges of hers. It looked so nice and finished. When she was finished with it, it just had a nice finished edge. I really liked that, so I'm probably going to do the same thing. So let me stand up and you can see how large this is. Like I said, I'm about halfway done, about for as big as I think I'm going to make it. So let me show it to you. It is currently 13 squares across and 8 squares down. So it's going to be a lap quilt. I'm not making a full-sized Afghan out of this. It's going to be more like a lapgan by the time I finish. But it's all fingering weight yarns, fingering to sock weight. And I love it just because it's fun to do. And I've enjoyed it. It's also fun to trade yarn with your friends. And then you've got memories of those friends from the yarn. So, again, this is called The Coziest Memory by Kemper Ray. So that is the end of my 10 favorite things. Now, I've tried to contact as many podcasters as I watch, but there are some of you that actually watch my channel that I know have podcasts as well, but I don't know how to get in contact with you because YouTube no longer has the private messaging. So unless I could find you on Facebook or over on Ravelry, I wasn't able to contact you. So if you have a podcast and you're watching, consider yourself personally invited to join in with our tag. Just please send me your email at Katrinascreations@yahoo.com. Let me know the name of your podcast, and I will set it up for you down in the description box so everybody else can come and check out your channel. So thanks again for watching, and don't forget to go watch everybody else's 10 most favorite things. Thanks again. Have a great week.